testing out a new shoe by Altra. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all a closer look at the new Altra Timp 5. Hey everyone, Knowledge here with Reach Your Summit. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited to share this video with all of you. Those of you who have followed my channel, who have seen my videos, or have been out on the trails with me, know that I'm a big fan of Zero Drop and Altra footwear. Over the years, I've been wearing the Altra Lone Peaks and the Altra Olympus. Those two shoes have been my go-tos. But I've also worn shoes like the Altra Superior and the Altra Mont Blanc. And one shoe that I hadn't really tried was the Altra Timp. I've been looking at adding a new shoe into my rotation for this year. Something kind of in the middle of the Lone Peak and the Altra Olympus, but still having the Zero Drop. So this shoe came up, and after looking into it a bit more, it really appealed to me. So in this video, I'm going to go over the specs, we'll go over the fit, my general first impressions, what I like, and what I am a little wary of at the moment. But before I get into all of that, I only have about 35 miles in this shoe so far. So this is more a first look, and I'm looking forward to putting out another video in the future or adding these into another video in the future with how this has been working out for me. So kicking things off, this shoe is $155 for the total cost. I went with a men's size 11.5, and the total weight on my scale for the pair of Altra Timp 5s is 22 ounces. The shoe has a 29 millimeter stack height, so 4 millimeters more than the Altra Lone Peak and 4 millimeters less than the Altra Olympus. It still has the Zero Drop, and it still has Altra's foot shape for an anatomically correct foot shape fit. The upper is made of durable ripstop mesh. The midsole is made out of Altra's Ego Max midsole foam, and the traction on the bottom is Vibram Mega Grip. The shoe has some really nice long laces to get an ideal locked in and precise fit. It has the gator hook in the front and the Velcro tab on the back to use with trail gaiters. A nice padding on the inside, and the tongue is also padded. Not too thin, not too plush. I find it to be just enough. For the fit, this uses Altra's standard foot shape fit. So it's a little bit narrower than the Altra Lone Peak and the Altra Olympus. Both of those use the original foot shape fit, which is the widest Altra offers. This is a little bit narrower and very similar to the Altra Mont Blanc and the Altra Superior. I sized up half size. My normal size is size 11, so I went with the 11.5 just because of that standard fit, and I'm really happy that I did. I find the shoe to be nice and snug, but not to the point where it's painful or uncomfortable. Plenty of room to wiggle my toes around, but I feel very secure in this shoe. A little bit more than I do with the Lone Peak or the Olympus. Both of those shoes I feel very secure in as well, but this is just a little bit more snug, which gives me a little bit more performance with the shoe. The Altra Ego Max midsole foam I find to be fantastic. Slightly soft, but also slightly stiff to add to that performance, but it's still plush enough to give me a good amount of responsiveness, a good amount of rebound, so it feels very comfortable, but still allowing me to be a little bit more agile when I'm out on the trail. And I've been really happy with the foam so far. traction on this shoe is fantastic. Really digging the tread pattern on this shoe. This sheds mud really well, but it still grips really well on wet rock and roots. I find the mud doesn't collect like it has on my Altra Olympus 5s. I found mud to kind of cake up and build up on that shoe, and it doesn't release or shed as easily as it does with this tread pattern. And yet this is going to be a little bit grippier than the Altra Lone Peaks, which I really enjoy, for also having really good mud shedding capability and decent traction, but that's using Altra's Max Track, which is what this shoe had used in the past. So I was really intrigued with this new update to this shoe. The shoe I find to be a nice blend between the Lone Peak and the Olympus. I feel very protected. I feel I have really good traction, nice and secure and stable. I feel very nimble in this shoe and a little bit more agile than I am with the Olympus. The Olympus has been a great shoe for long distances, but it also does feel very clunky due to its wider base. And at the end of a long day, it can feel a little bit heavy when feeling very exhausted. And the shoe is going to be a little bit heavier than this one or the Lone Peak, but it does feel a little bit more taxing in my experience at the end of a very long, hard day out on trail. So far, I've found this upper to breathe really well. I was a little wary about it at first because it did feel a little plasticky and stiff right out of the box. But as I've been wearing the shoe a bit more, it has softened up and become a little bit more flexible. So far, it has breathed really well, has kept my foot from overheating too much in the dry and damp conditions that I've used it in. Not sure how well it'll do in heavy downpours. I haven't had the shoe out in that yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing how quick it dries and how well it performs and responds to those types of conditions. I'm also looking forward to seeing how well this upper holds up. Feels and seems very durable, but only time will tell with that. And the toe guard around the top of the shoe, I'm also looking forward to seeing how that holds up. It's been holding up really well with my Lone Peak 8s, but my Lone Peak 7s, it ended up peeling a little bit, so I had to re-adhere it with some Aqua Seal, and I did not have any issues with it since then. This toe cap feels and looks very similar to what's on the Lone Peak and the Ultra Superior, so I'm wondering how well that'll hold up. I'm also looking forward to seeing how the tread holds up over time and the Ego Max midsole foam once I put a lot more mileage in on this shoe. The other thing I was a little worried about at first was the gusseted tongue inside, just with where it was attached. I was worried that I might start getting a little bit of rubbing on the top of my foot. Haven't felt that yet, so that's a very good sign. With this being a little bit more of a snug and secure fit due to the standard foot shape, it's still something that I'm keeping an eye on. Don't have to worry about that with the Olympus or the Lone Peak, but time will tell with that as well. Overall, I'm really excited for this shoe. Been happy with the performance so far. Had it out on backpacking trip. I've had it out on some trail runs, and I've had it out on some longer day hikes. I feel the stack height is going to be really nice for those certain adventures and trips when I want to have a little bit more cushion than I get with my Lone Peaks, but not going with as much as the Ultra Olympus offers. Something that I want that's going to be nice and light, fast and flexible, with traction that I can be confident in, and still having a shoe where my foot can splay out naturally with my Injinji toe socks, and having that zero drop that works really well for my particular foot. So that is a very quick, brief look at the Altra Timp 5s. Have any of you picked up this shoe? And what are your first impressions of it? Leave them in a comment below. I'd love to hear how things are working out for you with the Altra Timps. I hope all of you found this video helpful. I'm only a few days away now from getting out on the North Country Trail for the Allegheny 100. So I'm looking forward to getting out there and catching up with all of you in the near future. If you have any questions on this shoe or any of my other Altra shoes or anything else in my other gear videos, please feel free to leave them in a comment below as well, or you can contact me at any time at reachyoursummit.net. And if you like this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm always adding new content to it. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. And until the next one, see you on the trail.